Welcome back to the Real AI Agents. Imagine turning your wildest creative dreams into reality with just a few clicks. Welcome to the new world of Leonardo AI's Gen 2. This update is the best one yet. Together, we will uncover the secrets of this mind-blowing AI update. Stick around to see how you can revolutionize your projects with the brand new character reference tool, boost your productivity with image-to-image transformations, and so much more. Don't forget to take a few minutes to relax and enjoy our music video at the end of this video to get those creative ideas flowing. But first, let's dive into this cutting-edge interface. Trust us, you don't want to miss this. Let's have today's agents tell us what you can expect to find in this video.
New interface overview. Identify where all your favorite tools have moved to.
Character reference tool. Create consistent and detailed characters with ease.
Image-to-image tools. Combine tools to create your perfect image from the start.
Consistent character comparison. See the magic of maintaining character consistency.
Upscaling images. Learn how to upscale images without losing quality.
Presets and style settings. Access our exclusive presets guide as a thank you for supporting our channel.
Special music video. Buccaneer Queen. Enjoy our creative showcase using Leonardo AI, Suno AI, and Haiper AI. Get ready to set sail on a creative adventure like never before.
So here we go. This is the latest big release from Leonardo AI. It is image generation version 2. And when I signed in, I had been working in it earlier in the day, and I signed in and I saw this exciting new update. And when I first came in and started reading through what this was going to be, I got a little nervous about some of the changes and getting used to them, but it turns out it was super simple. So that's why I'm bringing you guys this video so that I can help you learn all of the new features and tips and tricks so that you're able to just hit the ground running on your image generation on this new interface that they've provided us for the image generation version 2. So we can see here that it is made to bring a smoother, more intuitive user experience. I will say they have definitely done that in this update. We've now got presets that we can use, which is super awesome. We'll run through those. And you guys, this is the biggest, most exciting news I've seen come out of Leonardo. And you know, I love Leonardo and I love the updates that they've been bringing us. But guys, seriously, character reference is now available. So you know what a pain making consistent characters can be. This makes it so simple to use your character over and over again in different images. This really is the first AI generation I've seen that has consistent character generation. We're going to check it out. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it, so stay tuned for that. We've got a couple tips on the image guidance now that are new places where they are, different things we can do. Elements are a little bit easier to access. And of course, this is very important. You can go back to the version 1 with the legacy mode. So if you're a person who doesn't handle change of interfaces well, and you just want the buttons to be where the buttons used to be, you still have access to that. So you are able to go back to that version 1 here. I saw a lot of people in the Leonardo AI Facebook group kind of freaking out about the new interface at first. I think they hadn't gotten in and actually played with it yet. But for those people who just can't get it or don't want to learn a whole new system while they're in the middle of a big project, legacy mode is the way to fix that. So let's go check out some of these new features and different updates and where all the new buttons are. I'm going to break it all down for you guys. The first thing you need to do to check out the new interface is to go into image generation from the home screen, and you'll see it brings up the whole new user interface here. If you want to toggle back to the way things used to be, you can hit this legacy mode right up here at the top. And as you can see, then it goes right back to the way that our screen used to be. So all your fine-tuned models are here, all your styles are here, and all your elements are here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and we'll go back to the new user interface interface. And let's talk really quick about how we get to where those things are that you just saw. So for the fine-tune models, you'll notice that under the advanced settings down here is where we find the models. The preset is a new thing on this user interface. So there's quite a few of them here. You can see that each one we go into has its own styles now, which is different from the old legacy mode. So you can see like the cinematic Kino has its own group of styles. Concept art has its own group of styles. I have gone ahead and broken down each one of these presets and every single style for you in an Airtable that you'll find out how to access at the end of this video. So I hope that that really helps you save a lot of tokens in the future in trying to figure out this new interface. We also now have contrast here, so you can choose low, medium, or high on the contrast for your images. I like to run mine on high. The generation mode here now, you have fast, which you'll notice does take a lot less tokens, but this quality here is the same as what turning on the alchemy used to be on the old legacy mode. So my own personal opinion, I only generate using the quality button here for my generations because everything I used to create was always created with alchemy. So there's absolutely no reason for me not to use quality in the new user interface. The next thing you've got is your image dimensions. So you can see here it's got some of the standard ones. If you click more, it will bring up more. And I do like how now they tell you which social media platform which aspect goes with. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that does make it quick to know which one you need to choose. While you're in here under the aspect ratio, you'll also find the image resolution. So I like all of my images to come out high resolution, so I just leave my setting on high here. And then the next thing you get to choose on the new toolbar is your number of images. This is how many images you want to generate at a time. So if we put a prompt in really quick, just so you can see, I'll just put in UFO, and you'll see as I change the number of images, the number of tokens it costs to generate that changes as well. So we go from 1 at 10 to 2 at 15 to 3 at 20 to 4 at 24. So keep that in mind. It does cost more tokens if you do more images. I like to just do one at a time. Again, with the preset, it will automatically choose what model it thinks is best suited for that preset, but you are able to go in and change that if you would like to. And then under the advanced settings is where you're going to find your photo reel toggle, your negative prompt toggle, where you can add a negative prompt up here if you would like. The transparency button is still available there, the tilling button, and the used fixed seed. So all of those are still available. If you find that you've jumbled up your settings and you just need to start over, this reset to defaults will do just that for you. So I bet you're wondering, where are your image to image tools? So in the legacy mode, we had image guidance here that you could go to and you could input your images. Now on the user interface, all of that is located up here in the image icon next to your prompt. So if you go ahead and click that, you'll see here's your image guidance. And if you click more, it now tells you all of the different types of image guidance that they have available, as well as a little description of what that does. I really prefer this to the old system. It helps make what I need for the image guidance a quick option of choosing the choices. So I can do content reference, I can do character reference, I can do text to input, I can do pose to image, and I can add all of them at once if I want to. So that is where you will find that image to image guidance, which we're definitely about to dive into in the content reference and character reference here. And then you'll also find all of your elements now located inside of this same image guidance image icon up here at the top of your prompt. So if you come in and hit view more, you'll see the same old screen we used to have for elements is available there. So same way, you can choose up to 4 of them here. If you wanted to just randomly choose 4, we would have those all selected up there. And when we confirm that, they will now be visible up here. So that is how you add the elements. To change the weights of the element, you just simply click the drop down here and you can adjust the weight just like you used to with the old slider. So I'm going to go ahead, I always leave it at 0.3 when I have multiple. And I imagine this is going to create a pretty chaotic image here, but this is just a quick example so that you can see how this would work with adding the same tools we used to add. So UFO is in there. Of course, that's a pretty short prompt. We we might not get exactly what I'm looking for just by doing that. So if you remember where this image icon is on our legacy mode, flip back over to it, we had the dice here, which would allow us to either create a new prompt or improve our old prompt. So on the new system, that is located down here. The little magic stars down here is where you will find that new random prompt or improve prompt. So let's go ahead and just give this one an improve prompt. Okay, so there we go. And let's set this one just for fun. Let's do the albedo here. And for the style, we'll go ahead and just do dynamic. And let's just create that and see what we get. All right, and there you go. Very interesting there. We got the flames. The different elements have definitely been added. UFOs are in the background. All in all, that's a pretty cool image. So there you go. That is the basics of how to use the new interface and how to access the legacy mode for the old interface. And next, let's jump into the most exciting part, the character reference tool. For the character reference, I thought it would be fun to take my original video that I first did about Leonardo and how to use their system and upscale the thumbnail from that to use to create our consistent character as a Buccaneer Queen. So what I did was I took the original thumbnail and I upscaled it in the universal upscaler in Leonardo. So I took it from the first image to the second here, and we can see the side by side. If we take a look here, you'll see how that upscaling process went. So this is the enchantress from my original thumbnail. This is the enchantress upscaled one time in the universal upscaler, and this is the enchantress upscaled twice in the universal upscaler. You'll notice on here that I left where her teeth and lips kind of have a weird look to them so that I could show you using that specific thing how close it gets to the character content when you create consistent characters. So that's why you see that imperfection in there. You could, of course, just magic erase that out and upscale it again, and she would come out with the perfect lip on the upper lip there and not that kind of chaos there in the middle. So once I had that third upscale here on that image, what I'm going to do is download it up here with the download button. When I come into image generation, I'm going to go ahead and put a prompt in. So really simple for this one, we'll put in Buccaneer Queen standing next to a parrot on her ship. When you're using the content reference and the character reference or style reference, your prompt isn't as important as it would be if you were generating an image just based off the prompt. So now that we've got that in there, let's go ahead and hit the image button here, and we will do the character reference. I'm going to take that image and upload my thumbnail enchantress character there, and you can see that the drop down has three options: low, mid, and high. The higher you choose, the higher it will adhere to what your character looks like. So on this one, I really want it to look like her, so I'm going to go ahead and do high. Low would give it a little bit more creative freedom, and mid would keep it kind of looking like her, but you might not fully be able to tell it was her. The other thing I'm going to do, just because I want to make this quick, is I'm going to add a content reference. I already have an image of a pirate standing next to her parrot, so I'm going to go ahead and click that image, and under content reference here, I'm going to select that. Once I do that, I'm going to come over to where it says your generations, and then I can simply scroll down until I find the image that I'm looking for on here. So I've got all of those settings chosen. I've got my quality on and the image dimensions set correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and just generate one image here. And you can see, for not being upscaled, we've got our parrot in here that does look very similar to our enchantress character. So you can see now how the content reference and character reference can be used together to quickly put your idea in place. I went ahead and I did this with the character several times. So if I go back to my personal feed here, we can actually see where I've created several images from where I started here with her, my original thumbnail enchantress, and turned her into a pirate Buccaneer Queen time after time. The best way for me to show you side by side how well the character generation did, put the characters next to each other. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and compare what you guys think about how consistent the character was that was created in these images using my Enchantress. Here we go. What I did was pull them into Canva and I magic grabbed the Enchantress out of all of the images and put her side by side with the original. So you'll see the original will be over here on the right hand side, and the consistent character created using the character reference in Leonardo will be over here on the left. So again, if I point out where that imperfection is in her lip, you can see it actually did the same thing in the character generation. So if this was a real person I was comparing, I would look for those things. During the upscale process, it did add in some extra little details on her face, like a mole here that's maybe a little bit more defined than it is on our regular character. You can't really tell if this one is there because of the hat, but you can see that is a very similar character, keeping in mind that this image here was generated with a contrast on high. That is why the lighting on her hair seems to be a little bit lighter. If the sunlight were hitting this portion of her hair, it would have a similar contrast to it. The second one I generated here, you can see as I had the position changed on the character, the face did have a little bit of render loss quality. So like her eye here, even on the upscale, her pupil is not really defined in there. It doesn't look near as good as our original character. You can see where it kind of left that imperfection in her mouth, but it's a little bit different. So the side profile was a little bit harder to get it matched up. But since this system is really only like a couple days old, I have very, very high expectations of what this is going to look like in a couple of months. So the next one here, this was with the element Solar Punk put onto the image. So you can see even with an element added, how similar the character is to the original, although it did correct her mouth here, but you can still see two different colors in that. So it is almost like it tried to keep it similar to that, but the image quality improvement was so great that I think it actually corrected that in the upscale. The next one here, this was with the glass core and sparkle core on it as an element. And you can see it did kind of fade out her eyes to a little bit deeper of a blue when I put that element on, but it did keep the consistent character. This time it did add teeth though, instead of that just imperfection of the lip. But overall, same facial structure. She's got the little clef in her chin here. Same was added over here. You can see the definition in her face here around her nose and her mouth is the same as our original character. And then we've got a little bit more of a side turn here, again, with the adding of the teeth in there. It probably just honestly took this as teeth in the render quality when it was pulling in the character reference. But that is a pretty consistent character there. Again, we've got another one here. You can see on this one, it did take away the little clef in the chin. So not completely consistent on there. For the setting being high on all of them, I would expect that to be a characteristic that would carry over. I do anticipate we'll see a lot of improvement in this coming very quickly though. We've got one more here. You can see again, this one kind of blew out the pupil on the eye. It's not near as defined and easy to see. It kind of added in some weird teeth here. Keep in mind, these are really blown up, but you can see in all of these consistent characters, they've all had that deep definition collarbone here. We've seen how the character reference works. Let's talk about how you can add some of the additional elements to your images and also some of the other image-to-image guidance techniques here. We can take a look at some of the images that I made using those different additions. And if you want to learn more about applying those to actual image generation, be sure you check out the Leonardo videos I have linked in the description of this video so that you can learn how to use multiple content reference and style references on images. Just for example, in here, we can take a look at some of these images that I applied some of the elements to. So for instance, in this one, you'll notice I used a character to character reference to create a consistent redheaded character that I wanted. And on this particular image, I used the glow wave at a setting of 0.3 on the weight. I thought that had a really cool effect to the image with the character creation. You can see here on this image where I used the dark arts and the glow wave in combination to come up with a very unique Buccaneer Queen. Again, here we have one of the glow wave images with the element being added on. So you can see by taking a look at all of these different images that I created, how cool it can be to put the different elements on and come up with new and unique ideas, especially now that we have the ability to do consistent characters in these images. I did use the upscaler a lot on this particular project to bring a lot of these images up in quality. So you can see how it had a very cartoonish effect. And once I upscaled it, it came out much more photorealistic. So I have found that on the images where I apply a lot of the elements, sometimes they do come out with a very cartoonish look. That can a lot of times be remedied by using the upscaler. So as you take a look here, you can see where the cartoon goes more into the photo realistic type image here. Same with this one that had more of the metallic. This one had the psychedelic art. You can see the fractals in there. And it also had a little bit of the glow wave on it. So you can see kind of the mixture there of that. The upscaling tool, the universal upscaler in Leonardo, has been very beneficial in my creating the content that I use because I use a lot of photorealistic content. So I highly recommend getting used to using the upscaler. It does cost quite a few tokens when you go to upscale images, especially at the presentation size aspect ratio. But in my personal opinion as a creator, it is well worth it. Okay, guys, and before we jump into taking a few minutes to relax and watch the compilation of art and AI music that we've put together for you in the Buccaneer Queen, let me show you something really cool I put together for you guys to help you. I set up an Airtable for myself, honestly, to use to remind me what all of these new presets and filters are. And I thought I would share it with you guys as a tool to hopefully help you conserve your tokens as you're creating and get a better idea of what style and what preset you should be using based on what idea you have and the outcome image that you want. So you can see in here, I went ahead and did each one of the presets. So we've got the cinematic Kino preset, we've got the anime, we've got the concept art, graphic design, albedo, the lightning. And what I did for each one is I went ahead and I made an explanation of what that particular style does. I tell you when the best use case time is for each one of those styles. And I also gave you a prompt example that you can feel free to copy and paste over into Leonardo, as well as the image that was created using that prompt. And for a couple of them, you'll see they have extra prompts in there that I added. And I did that for each one of the different styles. So you can feel free to use this however you want, however it will help you in your creation. If you do find this helpful though, I just ask that you please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and turn those notifications on so that you know when we put out new videos. I always try to give you some kind of useful tool that will help you in the future as you start learning how to use or get better at using these AI art generation tools.
Watch our music video, Buccaneer Queen. Enjoy our creative showcase using Leonardo AI, Suno AI, and Haiper AI.
Queen in sorrow and gain. She's left behind comfort and a life on the shore, for the call of the ocean and the promise of more. The sea is a trial, both cruel and kind. It tests her resolve and torments her mind. Through the storm and rain, through the hunger and pain, she's searching for solace on the treacherous main. With a heart made of steel and dreams that remain, the Buccaneer Queen in sorrow and gain. Days without land, with the sun beating down, nights filled with fear as the waves toss around. She's lost friends to the depths and wept in the night, yet her spirit endures in the moon's silver light. Through the storm and rain, through the hunger and pain, she's searching for solace on the treacherous main. With a heart made of steel and dreams that remain, the Buccaneer Queen in sorrow and gain. Sorrow and gain, in the whispers of the ocean, a story unfolds of a pirate's true heart and the courage she holds. The Buccaneer Queen, a legend she'll be, an emblem of strength in the heart of the sea.
And when you use these tools that we cover in our videos, we would love to see what it is you're creating. So if you go ahead and follow us on your favorite social media platforms, you can always tag us or put the hashtag #TheRealAIAgents on your images so that we can take a look at what our friends are creating out there in the universe of AI art. I really hope you guys are excited as I am about this new character reference and the Gen 2 user interface update that has happened in Leonardo. I can't wait to see the stuff that you guys come up with in your creations. Thanks for spending some time with me today to learn all about Leonardo's Gen 2 update. I'm Jessica with The Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.